welcome back to the IBJJF Podcast. My name is Danny, and my guest today is Nathalie Ribeiro. Nathalie is
Hello.
a European champion, a two-time Pan champion, a Brazilian national champion, and she's going to be part of the inaugural female Grand Prix that takes place August 12th in Austin, Texas. Nathalie, how are you?
Good. How are you, Danny?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate
Good.
your time.
Yeah. Thank you for having me here. I'm very glad to be talking and very glad to be inside of the very first GP for IBJJF, the female one. So yes, I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I definitely want to get to the GP, but I'd love to start just
hmm
talking about your results that you got in 2022. I feel like this was probably your best year as a competitor. You won 3 of the 4 major tournaments and had some really great performances. Was there anything that you did differently coming into this year that you felt helped you achieve those results?
Yeah, so I felt that this year was very good for my jiu-jitsu career because like you said, I got 3 of the 4 major tournaments in gi, so it was very nice to do that. I was very glad. My decision was last year. I put on my head that it was in the end of the year, almost in the New Year's Eve. I was like, oh, next year we'll try to focus more in my athlete career because I want to get my titles. I want to train hard and compete with the best. So I put in my mind that year, that 2022 was going to be the year that I wanted to focus more in how being an athlete. So yeah, I think it was a good thing that I did. Unfortunately, I didn't get the worlds, but next year I'll be back.
Yeah, I want to talk about the Worlds too, but before we get to that, I thought one of my favorite matches of yours this year was against Fionn Davis in the final of the Pans. And I know that was one that
hmm
was really important to you because you would face her multiple times. Can you talk about that experience and what it meant for you to get that Pan title and that win over such a tough competitor?
Yeah, so the pen title, title was like it was very I was very glad to be defending my title and then won one more time. So it was a nice thing for me, and also fighting against one of the best. Now she's the world champion, Fionn. So it was like, and we had fought like that was the 50th time we had fought, and that was the first time I won. So she won all the time that we fought against each other. So yeah, I was like, oh my God, I don't think I will never win over her. She's so good. But then I kept training and training, and I was like, one day I will do it. One day I will do it. So finally, we had the opportunity to fight again at Pan Ams, and I was glad I got the win.
Is she the competitor that
So
you've
yeah.
faced the most at black belt?
No, I think so. We fought 5 times. Yes, I think she was one. Fionn, and I think Louisa. I have fought Louisa all the time too. So they are one of the people that I most fight against.
Yeah, 2 great competitors. So I want to talk
Mm-hmm,
about Worlds a little bit. I know you had
mm-hmm.
a bit of an injury, and I believe it was your first match. You hurt your hand, which is
Yes.
difficult for someone who plays a lot of spider guard and just a lot of guard in
Yes.
general. Can you talk about
Mm-hmm.
how the injury happened and how it affected your performance at the Worlds?
So it was right in the beginning. I rewatched the match few days ago, and I saw it was right in the beginning. It was like not even 3 minutes of fight. I think I swept her, and we were kind of in the X guard. And when she broke my balance, or when she was trying to sweep, I was defending my hand, my thumb. It was this one. When I land my hand like that, my thumb stretch all the way back. So it was like it was very hard. It was very painful. I felt at the time and I heard the popping. So after that, I was trying to manage the fight because I was winning, I think 2-0. So I wanted to score a little bit more so I could be okay on just defending in the end because my hand was very sore and I was feeling a lot of pain in my thumb and it went down to my wrist. So I didn't have good strength in my grips. So yeah, so I did what I could to finish the match, to win the match, and then I went straight to the medic, and they wrapped my hand. But even though it was very painful because of my guard. I play guard, and my grips are the most important thing in my game. So it was very hard. It was very hard for me. I was very upset. But yeah, it is what it is. Now it's train, and now I'm glad that I came back. Now it's my hand is feeling better. I stopped for 4 weeks. I think it was almost 5 weeks. I couldn't train. I was doing physical therapy, but now I'm back. I'm training more. Now I'm getting ready for the new turn for the GP. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
I saw the picture you posted your hand afterward. It looked really swollen. So it's pretty incredible that you were able
hmm
to win some matches after that injury.
I know, yes, it was I was glad with that too.
So now your hand's fully recovered and you're training for the GP.
Yes.
What's your training been
hmm
looking like leading into the Grand Prix?
So Lucas is pushing the training not only for me and for Matthias as well because he's competing. So we've been doing a very good strength and conditioning. The training is being very hard. We've been doing a lot of specific training. So yeah, we've been doing a good hard work.
And I mentioned in the intro that this is going to be the first ever female GP that the IBJJF has put on, which is a really big deal not only for the athletes but just for jiu-jitsu in general. How did you
hmm
feel when you got the invitation to compete at the event?
Oh, well, I felt happy. I was very happy, very honored to be part of it, to be invited for that. So yeah, I was like that. Oh, it was very nice. I was very happy, very glad and honored to for you guys to invite me among with. They are all world champions, so I'll be there among them, and it's a very good opportunity. So yeah, I couldn't miss it. So I'm very glad to be part of it.
We talked a bit about Fionn Davis, who's going to be one of the opponents in it. You also have Anna Rodriguez and Bianca Basilio. I know you faced
hmm
Bianca before, but have you had a match with Anna Rodriguez before?
No, I've never had a match with Diana before because she's in a small division than me, so we never had the opportunity to do it, and we almost don't compete at open class. So yeah, we never had the opportunity to fight each other.
So what do you?
That's gonna be probably the first time. Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think about a potential match with either Anna or I believe you only fought Bianca once? Is that correct?
Bianca, we fought three
Oh, three
times.
times. Okay. Can you talk about
Yes.
potential matchups with Anna and Bianca?
So yes, I'm like any of them is always gonna be a very hard match. So with Bianca, she's like we have fought, so we know each other games. It's gonna be a good match, a good tough match if we fight each other. And she has a very good strong ankle lock. I always have to watch out with that. She has a very good passing game too, so it's gonna be exciting to fight against her, as well as Anna. Anna is gonna be a new challenge for me because I've never fought her before, so the game is gonna be new. We always have to, study a little bit our opponent, especially when we never fought before. So it's gonna be an interesting challenge too. Like with any of them, always like it's gonna be a very good matches.
You
So yeah.
you touched on the fact that they're all world champions and they all won worlds in
Mhm.
2022. Anna won in light
Mhm.
feather, Bianca won feather, Fionn won light. Just pretty crazy. Did you get
Mhm.
a chance to watch their matches at the worlds?
Yes, I was watching when I was there. The third place chairs, like with the girls waiting for the matches to be over. I was there watching all of them, and it was very nice to see all of them winning. Anna winning again, but Bia and Fionn getting their first title was very nice to see. I was very happy for them, and it was like they were doing like a very good job of their matches. Was very always like tough and good to watch. So I enjoyed them watching them fight. And yeah, so I feel that every opponent that I have, they are kind of my inspiration because I need to be as good as them if I want to be where they are. So it's always nice to watch them and especially fighting against them.
Awesome. Well, I think it's going to be an amazing event for amazing
hmm
competitors and such a great moment for Jiu-Jitsu. It's the first, like I mentioned, the first ever female GP. So I'd like to get your thoughts too on how do you feel Jiu-Jitsu has changed for females from the time you started when you were a white belt until today? What type of opportunities have opened up and how has the sport kind of changed in terms of participants and just opportunities?
Um, I feel like I trained since when I was a kid, like I was 8 or 9 years old. So I always was the only girl during the classes. And then when I was growing older, a little more girls was coming, but it was mostly boys. And now today, like I feel that after like this past 5 years was when the girls like grew a lot. The female jiu-jitsu involved so in so many ways. Like there's a lot of girls competing, like 30 girls brackets in blue or purple belts, even more, sometimes 35. I don't know, but it's like getting and matching with the guys division. So I don't know. I feel that a lot of girls, the black belts like Bia Mesquita, Luisa Montero, Michelle Nicolini, they were one of the people that most inspired the girls, to compete because they have a strong game and it was beautiful to watch them. So for me, I feel that they were one of the people that inspired me in jiu-jitsu a lot, that made me like try to be an athlete. And I feel that every black belt inspired the color belt somehow. In keep going and see that it's possible, and the girls are getting braver and braver. So I feel that it's kind of teamwork. Even if we don't get together to try to involve the female jiu-jitsu in some way, we help each other. So I think it's pretty nice what's happening with the female competitors.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like you mentioned, you guys are always putting on, females in particular are always putting on really exciting matches. There's a lot of submissions, a lot of different styles, so the matches are often really dynamic and fast-paced, and there's tons of action.
Yes, exactly. I feel that too. Like I watch the girls fighting, they inspire me, and I try to do my best to inspire others. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see that.
You're definitely one of the top female competitors nowadays, so you're inspiring plenty of other lower belts below you. What advice would
Yeah, I'm glad with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what advice would you give to some of the younger females who maybe look up to you or some of the other females in the GP and they want to have a career in jiu-jitsu? They want to win titles like you and make jiu-jitsu their profession. Do you have any advice for someone who's in that position?
My advice is that you can give up, especially on the hardest days. Like there are some days that we feel down, or when we didn't train well, or when we feel that it won't, have a future in the sport. So that's the days you have to put in your mind that you can give up. That in the future, in one day, everything, all the hard work, even the bad days it's gonna make sense. Like everything is part of the process. There's no easy way in being the best. It's always the hardest way. It's always in the hardest path. You have to follow. You have to trust in yourself. The thing is that you have to trust in yourself and never give up. So yeah, that's my advice.
Yeah, I know you've talked a bit about having times where you struggled before and maybe thinking about stopping competing or feeling like you were maybe getting a little bit old, even though you're very young. But what were some of the things that helped you get through those struggles and just have those breakthroughs
uh,
mentally to keep going?
Yeah, so one thing that helps me a lot is to have a therapist. So I feel that, a professional will help you think through, help you like think outside of the box, and help you to see things that sometimes comes in our mind in a hardest way that is supposed to be. So I feel that therapist is a very good thing. And yes, I feel that. And you have to train. Like if you want to be confident in competing and being there and try to win a tournament, you always have to be training and putting up a hard work. So I keep training. So I have my therapist and I train hard. So even Lucas tells me, Natalie, train, you're gonna feel better. Training is also my therapy. So I train all the time that I can, and I work out. I feel that you just need to put something in your mind, like I did. For example, I said next year, 2022. I will focus in my athlete career, and that's what I did. I didn't stop until Worlds. That's what I was trying to be, trying to like my main goal. So I think you should put something in your mind, what a tournament you want to participate in, a tournament that you really want to win, and you focus on that, and everything's gonna be about that. So if you have something in your mind, you go for it.
It's great that your
So yeah,
training can
that's what I
be
do.
part of your therapy, and so it's helping you advance your career and helping with your mindset at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So in addition to the female GP, there's also a male medium heavy GP on August 12th. You have your teammate Matias Luna, Ronaldo Jr. of
Yes.
Atos, Leandro Lowe, and Gabriel Argis. Do you have any thoughts on the male medium heavy GP?
Wow, I go for Matthias. I will go. Matthias, for me, I think he'll go to the final. I think he goes to the final against Leandro. It's hard to beat Leandro. So yeah, but I'm cheering for my teammate. He's very good at passing. He has a very strong and aggressive pass. His knee slice is awesome. I always like to learn from his knee slice. So yes, I'm rooting for him. Go Matias!
Yeah, it's gonna be great, great Grand Prix. He's had a great match, some great matches with Ronaldo Jr., and I'm sure the matches with
Yes.
Leandro and Gabriel Arges will be amazing as well.
Oh yes, for sure, for sure. All the matches. There's no easy match. Everybody's like is good. Everyone's good.
Definitely. Did you have
So
any other
yeah.
thoughts you wanted to share on the Grand Prix or on anything else before we signed out?
No, I want to thank you guys again for the opportunity to be inside of this amazing event. And I'm excited to watch not only the female GP, but the male and also the super fights too. You guys are gonna have some super fights, so I'm very excited with the card. So yes, I can't wait for the day.
Me too. Well, thank you, Natalie,
Mhm.
so much for your time. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. Definitely check
Yeah,
out
yeah.
the Grand Prix, both the male and the female, August 12th. You can watch them on FloGrappling. I believe it's a Friday night, so there's going to be like I said, the GPs, the super fights. It's going to be an amazing night of jiu-jitsu.